Hey, what's going on, you guys? Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. So, seeing this deadline to file the crypto loss claims coming through today really jogged my memory. And I thought and I remembered to myself, gosh, I've been traveling around so much. I've been doing so much building in relation to LUNC Dash, so much building into relation to LUNC Pump.fun and LUNC Swap, really traveling around the world, building in the United States under that new regulatory landscape that's evolving. And I've forgotten one crucial thing, and that is Project Dawn.
The other ones out there that people point to is Project Dawn,
Mm.
and the way that money was used. It's like 100 million a month.
So as you can tell from that video, DK self-funded it. It was something that TFL really began to set aside some assets for. People weren't too happy about it. Now, with this being said, right, if we look at the top burners for USTC, well, it's LFG, and even some of the 7th, 8th, and 9th position top burners is also TFL, and this is all because of trial exhibit P301. And if you're not familiar with this document, it was a piece of evidence that was used during the civil case to really determine how much TFL had exactly. What we're actually looking at is the Terraform crypto assets, and there were a lot more wallets out there. There are some other wallets that we could chase down inside the Cosmos in the future, and we could definitely micromanage those through the IBC connections. Now, putting that aside and really focusing on what remains in trial exhibit P301, because everything is done and dusted up till this point, we have had a substantial amount of burning. If you actually go and you just flick back quickly and you take a quick look at LUNC Dash, I don't say number one burner lightly. This is 1.75 billion USTC. The number two burner is from the community pool itself, and that's around 438 million USTC. So yeah, there's been a significant amount of burning, and we can now add more to that overall amount. And yeah, it's a considerable amount. It's a higher percentage. So looking at the current circulating supply of USTC, it's just over 6 billion. And if you go and you gauge metrics from before the crash and you look at the supply for USTC, guess what? It's dramatically lower now. So we're really getting ourselves into a superposition, if you will. And like I keep saying about the time it took for the burning to kick in for SHIB, it's going to kick in for us. And those that remain committed to the idea of revitalizing this blockchain are going to prosper heavily in the future. So going back to trial exhibit P301, I love saying that word. I'm going to be very sad when we see the end of this document. And yes, this is going to be the end of this document. We're going to cross the T's and dot the I's, and then I'll move on to the Cosmos based wallets in the future. Now, as you can see in this list, there are some wallets that haven't been burned, and these are Project Dawn wallets, as you heard from DK himself, and then also CEX wallets. Now, to give you a short explainer on the CEX wallets, we need memos. They might exist inside the court document, but we would need to have access to those, and they would need to be redacted in their entirety to have a hope of actually getting those memos. At some point in the future, I'll keep this document handy, and we may be able to go in and find out exactly how much is being held in some of these CEX wallets, because yes, the Binance Deposit wallet, being the largest custodial holder for LUNC, was listed in trial exhibit P301. And this tells us that yes, TFL do have funds on these CXs, and that's why they're listed. But yes, we do in fact need the memos. So putting that aside, along with the Cosmos stuff, we'll be sure to cover this in other videos. No shortage of material here on the channel when it comes to Terra Classic. But we're focusing and we're honing in now on Project Dawn. This is going to be absolutely vital, because when we actually look at the percentage of this thing, it's around 5.89% of the total supply of USTC. So getting the final burners spreadsheet up, and we have done a video on this previously. I said I would get round to doing this once we had actually gone in and dealt with the shuttle bridge assets. We had dealt with the Anchor and Mirror protocol assets as well. Now it's time, as per what I stated, with TFL going through and the SEC actually burning the remaining LFG assets, we can go in and we can destroy the entirety of what remains in Trial Exhibit P301, which is currently accessible. Now, this leaves us with two actual options. We can burn all of these funds, or we can send it back to the community pool or the Oracle rewards pool. It's actually down to us to decide through governance. And I think all three options should be there in the governance proposal. And although you might not agree with it, I think it should be put out on an equal playing field. There should be the choice, the option there for everybody to decide where they want these funds to actually go. I believe the best option is to send them to either the Oracle rewards pool, which would leave us with equal distribution. Everybody would benefit equally from this, or we send them to burn. I don't think we should send them to the community pool because there's going to, from my perspective, be a lot of grabbing at community pool funds in the weeks and months ahead. And it's just going to be something we have to weather through. And some people will deserve funds. Some people won't deserve funds. That's the beauty of governance. The all important thing right now is having the tools, right? The smart contracts and the ability to actually burn these funds. The question is probably from your side, if you're not familiar with the burning we've actually done here on the channel, can we do it? Yes. How easy is it to do? It's as simple as just putting up a governance proposal, that governance proposal passing, and the second it gets a yay and it passes, boom, all of those funds will be terminated in an orderly fashion. And it's almost instant if I can remember from where we burnt the Anchor and Mirror protocol funds. So this is really bullish. It's really beneficial for our ecosystem. And again, I said it's around 5.89%. I think that number is relatively accurate. It's not a average. I think that is the exact amount. I did go through Grok and then I went through ChatGPT as well. So I think we should market this. Shiba Inu wishes they could burn 5.89% of their supply. They wish that they could go in, right? And it's not just a situation where we've burnt a lot of USTC. We burnt $250 billion LUNC. We are not an ecosystem, right? And I have to emphasize this. We are not an ecosystem that's got 450 trillion coins. The circulating supply right now is around 5.47 trillion. This is a significant number that a lot of people simply ignore, and everybody outside of LUNC is probably doing their utmost best to ensure that the burning isn't picked up on. SHIB is carried by its burning initiative, and we should allow the burning initiative to carry this ecosystem. Again, I think it's all about marketing. I think it's all about getting people really excited for a burn like this, leading up to it. And yeah, burning it is probably going to provide more positive momentum through marketing, YouTube videos, news articles, than just simply sending it to the Oracle rewards pool. And although, yeah, it would help, yes, it would ease the curve, it would provide some short-term relief, it's not enough. It's a situation where I believe if we are going to start to refill the Oracle rewards pool, we should really look into the idea of not funding DEXs and funding investments into some of the top crypto assets and actually weaponizing, right, those assets to cultivate relationships, right, to broker deals between our ecosystem and another ecosystem. Again, this could all be done in a decentralized manner. It's quite easy to do when you think about it. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll try keep you as up to date as possible. But yeah, Project Dawn must burn, you guys, and I will see that done in the same way that we saw the Mirror and Anchor protocol assets burn. And if the community had listened to us, we would have burnt the LFG assets as well. But lucky for us, the SEC burned those as well. So yeah, guys, very bullish. Look, subscribe, like, drop a comment on the way out. Those three things are definitely going to help us out. And don't forget, LUNC Dash is available on Android and iOS, and you can now launch your own token. You can stake a claim on lunkpump.fun. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and I'll catch you in the next one.